Hello, and welcome to episode 90 of Prog Review. This is a special, if you will. I'm going to be looking at Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, but I'm not just going to be talking about the album. I'm going to be looking at the deluxe collector's edition box set that was released in 2009. The reason I'm doing Mike Oldfield is I'm kind of continuing on with the theme. We had Rock Bottom by Robert Wyatt in the last video, in the last review. Mike Oldfield played a blinder on it, so I thought, well, it seemed only natural to do Tubular Bells, and I thought you'd like to have a look at the box set as well. Now I've mounted my camera on a new tripod because I'm trying to hide me double chin, you see, trying to look a bit more glam, a bit more professional for you, try and compete with the sexy YouTubers, the younger, fitter, leaner, more attractive YouTubers. So I'm trying to make this work. I've got a special drumstick that I use to get my camera in focus. Of course, this is just a weird, bizarre experiment. If it doesn't work and it looks a bit shitty, then I probably won't bother doing it again, and I've wasted my money on my tripod. Maybe I'll put it on eBay. But I'm wandering off the point again. I digress. I'm like Ronnie Corbett, but beefier and not Scottish. So that was for the UK folks. Where was I? Oh yeah, the box set. So anyway, I bought this box set when it was released. It cost a bleeding fortune. I think I sold a kidney to get it. But it's kind of neat, so I'm going to hand over to Darren, who will be looking at the box set and talking you through it. And I'll meet you back in about 10 minutes, if that's okay with you. Okay? Take it away, Darren. Wait a minute, that's not Tubular Bells. Those are my socks arranged to look like the Tubular Bells cover. Let's get rid of those. Now, this is what you're looking for? Yes. See what I did there? See what I did with the emblem? That's very clever. Tubular socks. Figure out which comedy sketch I stole that from. Yeah. Remember, all art is theft. So here you go, this Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield Super Deluxe Edition, released in 2009, or was it 2008? I can't remember. But yeah, loads of stuff, and yeah, Tubular Bells, Sailor's Organ Pipe, Tubular Bells demos, 5.1, and visual content. That's them performing the album. See, limited to 500 copies. That's the numbered edition, with him signing a little certificate of authentication. So let's have a butcher's. What have we got here then? There we go. It's done like the original album sleeve. It's all very, move that way. It's done like the original sleeve, as you can see. It's all very shiny. Very good print quality. See, the back and front cover is exactly like the LP version, though the LP obviously wasn't a gatefold, or at least the copy I had wasn't a gatefold, but I'm sure somebody out there was saying it was a gatefold in Argentina, so you got that wrong. And as you can see, they've completely replicated it down to the awful jokes. You see? Yes. Those are the days. So yeah, it was 2009. Yeah, it was 2009. Now I remember. It's all coming back to me. It was a fog. So we open it up and we can see all the old... Wobble the camera there, Darren. Be careful, don't knock it over. Let me just get the LP out for you. We'll do the LP first, shall we? I know you all like a bit of vinyl, like. So there you have it. It's not the original label, unfortunately. It's a new label for UMG/Mercury. And it's a lovely thick, I don't know if it's 180 gram, I don't know, did it say on the back cover? I didn't notice. But I haven't even played this on my record deck because my record deck needs replacing. I'm worried I might scratch it. But yeah, it's a lovely piece of vinyl there. And I didn't touch the grooves, I held it by the edge. Okay, so no complaining. Right, so let's put that to the side. And what have we got here? This is the certificate of authentication. You can tell it's authentic because there is indeed a picture of Mike Oldfield and the Tubular Bells and his signature in ink. And it says limited edition number 450 of 500, a round number. I'm glad it's a round number. Yeah, see, so there he is. Just in case you didn't see that, is actually his signature. He has handled this piece of paper. No, gold, there's a receipt. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to remember how much I paid for this. You weren't there, man. You weren't there. So anyway, this is the envelope of old tat, or ephemera, if we're being polite. As you can see, I've not even bothered to open it. It's still sealed. So I'm going to open this for you today, and we can all share this together. I mean, what kind of man doesn't open the envelope of old tat when he gets it on the day of release? Well, it's me. I'm only interested in the records, not the old tat. I'm off camera, just making sure I can get it all out without tearing anything. Rustle, 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 jingle, jangle. Now then. Again, that was an audio gag for the Brits. There we have I'm going to try and I'm going to take this to the next time to the Queen Elizabeth Hall and see if I can get in. You know, pretend that I turned up late. It was only £1.20. £1.20. God, what can you get for £1.20? In those days, you could take your girl out, have change of £3 and still get to finger her while she was at the gig. And there he is. There's a postcard, the obligatory postcard. So you can send it to your grandmother, having a lovely time listening to Tubular Bells. Why do they always include a postcard? And this is like the other way round, Darren, other way round, come on. And this is like the track listing on the tape, on the mixing desk. Hold it together, boy, hold it together. So he knows exactly where every bit goes. And here's a leaflet, in case you wanted to record at the Manor back in 1973. If we're going back in time, I don't think it has the same equipment there now as it did then. I don't even know if is it still being used as a recording studio. But yeah, lovely glossy. I don't even know, why do they include this crap? They could leave it all out and make the box set a lot cheaper. So there you go. I'm just putting the ephemera back in its envelope so I don't lose anything, or in case the dog dribbles on it or something. That has been known. So, just waiting for something to happen. Rustle, rustle. Right, first, so that we know what this is. This is a really big poster. I really don't fancy unfolding that today. I'm going to just put it to one side. You know what the cover looks like anyway. You don't need to see it again. So what we got here? Some plectra, which I've not bothered to use. And there's disc 1. Disc 2. Disc 3. See what I'm doing? And finally, disc 4, the DVD, Region 0. The dog's having a scratch off camera and he's making a noise. That was a big huff. Anyway, you can see what's on here. You've got all the credits for you, so you can look at them again. Don't worry, I think they're all replicated in the big book, which we'll get to in a moment. So let's fold this up, toss it to one side, and we'll bring the lovely big booklet. Apparently, some of the material in the booklet, in this big booklet I'm going to show you, was actually used without permission, so it's kind of breaking copyright law. I read it somewhere. I think I read it somewhere that they'd replicated parts of somebody else's book, but I don't know how true that is. Maybe that'll make it even more limited. Maybe they settled out of court, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just talking bullshit. Who knows? I read it somewhere, but I can't remember my source. I used to be a journalist once. Anyway, so let's open this up. It was very good quality. Lovely bit of hard binding here. It's perfect bound, hard book. The actual paper quality is terrific. As you can see, it's it replicates a lot of the information already seen, a lot of the artwork. And oh dear, look at what Virgin used to do. Look at that. Oh dear. I won't make any rude jokes. I didn't do it. How's that? Anyway, so yeah, it goes on. It talks about the recording of the album and everything into great detail. I think this is actually taken from a book written by one of the producers. I know there was a book out in the late 90s about the recording of Tubular Bells, and it kind of looks like that. I'd have to dig that out. I've got it somewhere. Might be in a box somewhere. So yeah, not much to say really. God dear, I remember when I used to make jokes. All we need is a picture of Roger Waters in a flat cap to come up, and I'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, it's it's a good read. Very good quality. I mean, oh dear. Maybe I should give up when I get to 100. Maybe I'm getting a bit old hat, a bit long in the tooth. What do you reckon? But yeah, so as you can see, it's a lovely designed book. Yeah, lots of pictures. We'll get to the end of this in a minute and get back to the review. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit like the Quadrophenia box set that was out before recently. You get a fairly complete rundown, and there's the master tracks that he did for the remix, and what the tape looks like. So there you go. Let's put that all back in the box. So as you can imagine, for your money, you get a pretty comprehensive box set. Though of course, it all could be a bit cheaper. They could do this a lot cheaper. So let me just get the LP, and you can watch as I gently slide it in. And there you go. That's been Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. I'm going to hand you back to that bloke Darren again. Back to Darren. Well, that was absolutely fascinating. I think you'd agree. It's a highly desirable piece. Of course, at the time, I didn't think it was going to be... Well, I thought it was going to be limited edition. I thought I was only going to do a limited run of these. But I think they ended up releasing a load on Amazon. So even though it says 450 of 500, there's probably a few extra dozen copies out there that have been signed by Oldfield. But you can still get that box set from the Universal Music website. Though, it might be a little bit overpriced, but you do get everything: the vinyl, the CDs, and the surround sound, and all the useless tat as well. But what's there to say about Tubular Bells that hasn't already been said? It's a breakthrough album, unique, and it's an instrumental piece. The whole album is instrumental, apart from the contribution of Vivian Stanshaw and the grunts from Mr. Oldfield himself, pretending to be a caveman. But it kind of fuses classical, neo, minimalist music with, well, rock and roll. It's it's unique in that aspect. Now, for me, I think the side one is absolutely perfect. It's it works really well. It doesn't outstay its welcome. Side two, I get a little bit bored with. It doesn't interest me. I think because side one is complete. Maybe they should have swapped the two sides around. I don't know. What do I know? I know Oldfield did a complete re-record of it in 2003 and did a surround sound mix of that. I never bought into that. I heard the stereo version. It just sounded really duff and dry, and I just didn't understand the point of it. But the 5.1 mix on this, he manages to retain some of that homespun feel, that analog warmth that you get with the stereo master. It's a little bit hokey in places. You get stuff marching around the surround sound field. It's a little bit, like I say, hokey, but it's good fun. But yeah, I mean, crikey, I do think it's, over the years it's kind of overrated. I prefer, Omadorn, even Hergis Ridge, to it, especially the surround sound versions that were put out recently. So yeah, but of course, there's only one rating for this album, and if you haven't listened to Tubular Bells, then where the hell have you been? Have you been living in a cave like a caveman? You see what I did there? But yeah, if you haven't heard any of Mike Oldfield's work, you best start with the classic. It's the big seller. Again, I'm talking to all you young folk who may or may not be listening. I don't know, do we have young folk listening? I don't know. But anyway, in terms of rating, unfortunately it's got to be 5 Tubular Bells out of 5. See, I'm so lazy, I couldn't even think of anything new. That's 5 Tubular Bells out of 5. There's not much you can say about a record like this. It's part of the prog heritage. It's one that's you can't really knock it, especially when you think that Oldfield was so young and recorded it all on his own. It's a remarkable feat, even if it is flawed in places and it is a little bit meandering. It's still an amazing piece of work. So there you go. My name's been Darren Locke. I hope you've enjoyed this prog review cum unboxing. Oh, I said cum then. Oh, did that sound rude? Hopefully you haven't been bored with this, and hopefully this new camera angle is conducive to you. I mean, I don't even know if I'm in focus. I can barely see the little screen. I haven't got my glasses on. But when I check the footage, if this footage even makes it onto YouTube, I'll see if I can tweak it and make it look nicer. That's it really. Only one more thing to say. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know the business, social media, blah, 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 blah. Tell your friends. We're nearly 100 episodes in. I've only got 10 more to get to. July the 3rd is the 1 year anniversary of Prog Review, so I was trying to get to 100 on July the 3rd, but it looks like I'm not going to make it unless I go crazy and produce 2 a day. I tried to ramp up production, but I kind of ran out of steam, It's hard. It only gets hard when you rub it. That's what the missus says anyway. So that's it then. Only one more thing to say. Prog on.